Great job. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. You know who we are. You know who we be. It's the legal score, formerly Prim and Proper Sports. This is Friday with the fellas, and I am not a fella. I am Sonia, and I am joined up top by James J. Train Martin. What up, though? But that's moved over for Brian V.A. Strilla from the D Tweezy. What up, though? And I hope you guys are doing amazing. Of course, it's a all month James month. I know he said he's not gonna celebrate all month, but we're gonna still put it on the banner. So glad that you. What's up, Mike? Thank you so much for joining us. Please share Mike Patton, one of our good colleagues over there on another network, beat reporter for the Tennessee Titans. Mike, it's high time we get you on. But anyway, all right, guys. So we have just a shred of NFL news tonight and a lot of college basketball. But right about now, I want to give some shout outs, of course, to Pink Fanfur, always the promos behind, and Brian B.A. Striller, who does all of our music productions and clips and all the good stuff. And thank you to all of you all who are the new viewers on YouTube, The Legal Score. I am live here 9 p.m. on Friday nights, 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to have some special guests coming up. 4 o'clock channel, the 4 o'clock time, on Saturday is a little different because we're all sports oriented on Wednesdays and Friday nights. Saturday is more like what I said, the legal score. It's basically where sports meets legal events, current events, and it's an opportunity for you all to be engaged. Of course, another news show, yes, is Brian and James have their BW movie review. Guys, we cannot thank you enough for your support for that new show. They review old and new movies. And the first episode, 7,500 views. And we have you to thank for that. And congratulations to both of you gentlemen for taking that spin there. Very interesting. I had an opportunity to watch it since I wasn't in class this week. And it was extremely fun. Definitely fun. Yes, Mike.
Check it out, Mike.
You go on and get all the info on that. But let's start out with our news here. We can do accolades all day. And of course, at the halfway mark, we'll have a special thank you from my niece Pearson, who was crowned Miss Jabberwock 2026 for the High Point chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in North Carolina. And she wanted to thank all of you all for your well wishes, for your financial support, and just all the positivity she received in this 90-day campaign. Seriously. So congratulations to her. You guys, it's the first thing starting off the rip. Looks like the 49ers are not going to engage with Trent Williams after all. And, you know, this is one of those things we talk about. We saw it with Max Crosby, even though there was an issue with him. We'll talk about him in just a second. But these deals are not solid, James. I mean, we saw all the hype before there was a deadline. Actually, before they were supposed to be talking to these people. So I'm expecting the NFL to pass out fines with tampering at this point because there was too much publicity on social media saying these people were specifically signed, and even some financial numbers were thrown around only to see that a couple of the deals fell through. Now, here we are now with Trent Williams, who actually people have been talking about him with the 49ers for quite a bit. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just reading what Mike was saying. So I'm not sure what's the situation going on with Trent Williams. I just know this has always been a situation where he's either holding out or he's trying to get more money. I don't know the situation fully, so it's hard for me to elaborate on Trent Williams' situation right now. But if I'm thinking what's happening here, if it's specifically similar to like the situation in New Orleans where you have an older player maybe have a little injury history right there, and he's trying to gain a little bit leverage in regards to trying to get more money out of the team. A lot of these teams are still trying to get young. So they let Cam Jordan, he's finding out that the well is dried up out there. He still hadn't signed with anybody right now. And so I think they're probably just hedging their bets in San Francisco and just saying, well, I mean, we're going to give you what this is the deal, what we have for you here. I mean, Trent, is he close to 40, I think?
Williams. Is he
Yeah,
at
He's
30?
30.
Those
Yeah.
years were about so
30,
fast.
37, 38. Yeah, I think he's 38, 30,
38,
something like that.
on July 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So
July, baby.
he's an older guy, man, and just I mean, again, has as of late has had some injury history. Mind you, he's their blind side, and he's still serviceable and like better than 80% of the league as far as the blind side goes. But you can't give a guy money for what he's done in the past. You can't give a guy excessive amount of money for like being faithful to us or that kind of thing. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and so they they'll figure something out. I don't know if he's still under contract or if the contract has ended. I'm not sure. Again, forgive me for not knowing that information. This is kind of news to me with
Yeah.
that. But I think specifically, if that's the case, I'm with the teams. I'm with the organizations. I mean, you got to always continue to get younger, and then youth movements are happening. So, I love Trent Williams. Exactly, he wants more
Yes.
money, and that's the deal.
Yeah,
That's just
that's the deal breaker
This
actually, B, because they're saying his salary cap number will grow closer to $47 million because they're not exercising the $10 million option bonus that's left on him. And it was due this afternoon. So they've struggled, and this is according to ESPN, they've struggled to find common ground on a contract despite negotiating for much of the offseason. And so to me, B, this still says no to me. This is not saying they're still, if they're struggling and those words are being used and they're not paying the bonus, I don't know if this thing goes through.
Well, he's slated to enter the 2026 season with no guaranteed money or years left on his contract beyond this next coming up season. So this is his last season under contract, but he will get no guaranteed money. They are saying, it's funny what teams will say. They'll say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna try to find something before the draft happens." Usually, if they're not doing, I just don't think he's gonna be there. I think just he's going to play his last year out with them, and that's going to be it for him. He wants to play until he's 40, but I don't know.
I got one more thing to say about that. I think that typically what teams will do, obviously, if they believe they have leverage, let's see what they do in the draft. Maybe they draft an offensive lineman. Maybe they draft an offensive lineman in the first round and as left tackle, and so that may push him either out, or if they don't get anything before the draft, they don't finalize some sort of contract. Because he deserves a little bit of guaranteed money. He's been their base for a long time, but I think the guarantees, obviously they're not on the same page. He wants a certain amount. They believe he's worth a certain amount, and so I think, with that said, if this is no deals done before, then they may draft an offensive lineman in the first round. Even though you look at the what's in the first round, there's not much there in regards to tackle. So they're going to be closer towards the tail end. If they have a first round draft capital, they're going to be closer towards the tail end of the first round, and they won't be able to get the cream of the crop, which will be probably more so in the top 15 or top 10. And so everybody's trying to hedge their bets and trying to use leverage, meaning Trent Williams and the brass with the 49ers. But again, I lean more towards in the thinking, in the mindset of the business side aspect, and looking at Trent Williams and saying, look, man, I know where you are right now. I know what you want. We paid you handsomely money. This is where we got to come to a better deal. Again, the age factor plays a role. DeMario Davis had to go out and get more money with the Jets because the Saints just wasn't willing to give him that money. Even though he had the most tackles he's ever had in his whole career, he's still 37 years old. He can fall off a cliff tomorrow. So it's just how the game goes.
I mean, I'm interested. You brought up someone that I was going to pivot to, James. Cam Jordan, New Orleans Saint. Um, 15 seasons in the NFL. I don't remember him being with any other team, but with hey Liz, but with the Saints. However, you mentioned him being a possibility of being moved around, and none other landing spot the Kansas City Chiefs. Possible destination for him. We saw they got Kenneth Walker the third. I mean, the Chiefs are like, look, y'all have counted us out long enough. We're coming back with or without Mahomes, with or without Kelsey. We're coming back and we are striking. And so, of course, Cam Jordan, 15-year vet, spent last season with the Saints as well. 10 and a half sacks, 15 quarterback hits, which is extremely impressive, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. Amazing. He revealed that he was actually pitching the idea, the Chiefs spokesperson, Jones, that is, of Jordan actually being with them because he's a free agent now, James. He's a free agent, and they've talked about this a lot. Thank you, Liz. And by the way, shout out to my girl Trina. She's always the one behind my makeup in here. Thank you so much, Liz. Got to get you on real soon, girl. But this once you start seeing rumors and then social media postings, it's just a matter of time before you start seeing the contract. Both of these gentlemen, Cam Jordan and Jones from the Chiefs, are actually speaking on their social media accounts about them, being together in Kansas City. And actually, if Jordan did actually join the Chiefs, he would give them a clear upgrade for real on that edge position while playing on the opposite side of the defensive end, George Karlaftis. Can't even speak. Karlaftis. Yeah. Because but that's what I'm saying. George needs this addition. And even though Cam is getting up there, and we talk about age all the time, he does not seem like this age is slowing him down. He's kind of like LeBron in the NBA, still putting up the big numbers.
Yeah, this is unusual territory for New Orleans and Cam Jordan. Drafted in 2011, number 22 overall, I believe, from out of Cal University. And he, second year, just never looked back. He just was a terror for New Orleans and that NFC South. Just never got a ring with them. We had opportunities, but it just didn't come to fruition. But Cam Jordan's a first ballot Hall of Famer when he retires, and he had a couple of years though. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, he had 10 and a half sacks this season, but the past couple before that were kind of duds, and you just looked like he fell off a little bit, and so he was able to bounce back this season. Again, another person hedging their bets and believing they're owed a little more money this season. But New Orleans looked at him and it's like, okay, you had a better season this season, and this is money. We want you to come back, but we want you at this price. And he believed he's worth more than what that price was. And so they allowed him to go out in the free agency and see what it is. And again, obviously he's seeing that nobody's biting right now, because otherwise he would have been signed somewhere. And, with the money that he wants. And yes, there has been some rumblings that Chris Jones and Chiefs want him to come in there, but again, the price has to be right. And of course, teams are not. Cam's going to be in the situation where he's probably going to get picked up after the draft, after all the players have been picked up, in the draft, who are younger, much younger, and more spry and cheaper in retrospect, And so to look at that, Cam is probably, obviously he's going to have to wait. He's going to wait. And hopefully there's still an opportunity for him to come back to New Orleans. The door is open. He said it is, but again, the price has got to be right. I'm paraphrasing what he said in regards to the money, but the price has to be right for him to go back to New Orleans, because he cleared his locker out and everything. So,
oh wow,
yeah, that's just hit home. It hit home that he's gone, and DeMario. Those are some mainstays, but that's the nature of the business. We all get old at some point. Either you stay and retire, or go somewhere else. Montana, it happens to the best of them. Joe Montana, Steve Young was the next man up, and he went to Kansas City. We're just talking about Kansas City. That's funny, but yeah. I hope he does come back. I hate to see him in another uniform again. Just that guy has always number 94 in black and gold has always been there. I'd like to see him stay there and retire, not to have to come back after with his tail between his legs. You know, taking a dollar contract and retiring. I'd love to see him stay there, but it's just again the business.
I mean, it will be difficult for me. And Lord knows I don't really like Cam Jordan. Ever since he sat my Cam, and sent him a bottle of wine after the fact because he said he was whining about it. When really Cam was concussed by him. I mean, the South will be glad to see him go, but it will be extremely odd. You're right, James, to see him outside of the South. We're talking about Kansas City a little bit, and it's all connected. B, I'm going to go to you, Isaiah Pacheco, former Kansas City Chief, now the running back. Is he RB number 1 for the Lions here? I mean, he's finding the place from
Monty. Really, RB number RB number 1. You know we got Jahmyr Gibbs, right?
I know, but I'm saying Monty was there, and Monty was he a close second or just only solo 1? I mean,
he was an RB2. He was an RB2, and that's what Pacheco is. Although that's a downgrade, much
462 rushing yards last season.
For who? Pacheco?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
Okay. You guys also got Cade Mays. You got Cade Mays, the former Panther. You're welcome. You're welcome. What's up, Yoli? Listen, Yoli, please check your personal message on Facebook. I sent you a message yesterday. It's from my personal page, Sonia Rochelle. I do need you to drop your number in there. It's very important. I have an old phone number for you that is not you. Somebody texted me back, said it wasn't you. So I need to connect with you, sis. Cade Mays, 94.3% pass block, ranked number 20 among centers last season. So, I mean, that's going to be great for him in front of the quarterback. You guys is Mr. Golf up there. And then y'all signed Teddy, what y'all call him? 2 hands, 2 gloves, 2 fists, whatever
Teddy,
it is.
2 hands, 2 gloves, Bridgewater. Yeah.
He just won't go home. He's the backup that you just don't know if he's rotating in or out of the league at any given time.
Well, I mean, as hard as those jobs are, I mean, I wouldn't turn down $8, $9, $10 million a year.
Yeah.
To sit on the bench.
He's definitely an upgrade over Kyle Allen. Come on now.
He signed with the Bills on Tuesday. Kyle Allen is now with Josh Allen.
Good luck with that, Buffalo.
The Allens, anyway, I love it. They got 2 Allen quarterbacks.
They also, the Lions upgraded a little bit at the center position with Cade. I thought that was good, and then an upgrade with the quarterback situation. Everything else that they did this offseason was a downgrade. And I don't care what Lions fan you talk to who's got the Honolulu blue glasses on in front of them talking about, oh, yeah, these are great because you know what? I'm getting sick of cheap signings. I'm getting sick of not impact. See, I wanted Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan has history with Dan Campbell. Okay, so I mean, if anybody would sign him, I would think the Lions would sign him because they need somebody opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. You know, just for a year, even if it's a year or 2, they can have him on that side while they groom a defensive end behind him, an edge rusher behind him. No, they keep getting these $2 dudes, and they're like getting people with the injuries.
$2.
$2. I'm glad you said it because I was going to say it, but
that's why I was like.
Anyway. And I'm like, you know, okay, whatever. I just. It's amazing at how in every media, sports media outlet for the free agency gave the Lions a C for their free agency, which I would have gave them. And everybody these Lion fans, I hate to keep hyping on this because it's just irritating as F. Okay. They keep saying, oh yeah, we depend on Brad. You know, Brad is the guy and we're going to do good this year. I'm like, man, do you watch football? Are you just like looking at the Lions just like there's some kind of yes, they have done well over the last 3 or 4 years. Yes, I'll give you credit for that. Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but every team goes through a situation where they don't want to play the players that they have on there, and sometimes you got to take a step back. I understand that, but everybody's trying to make it like, oh, they're going to be in contention for the playoffs and be in a Super Bowl. Yeah, okay. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like I said, I think Chicago is probably the best team in our division.
Yeah, I was about to say they've been talking about your nemesis in the North there.
Yeah, but they ain't. But what you said the other night, they're not even Las Vegas. Now I know things change, but Las Vegas doesn't even have them in the top 10 for the Super Bowl.
Doesn't have
they got them
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah, Chicago's not one of the top teams. It's it's Los Angeles, Seattle. They ain't got Kansas City up there.
Whole freaking West.
Kansas City ain't got no defense
anybody have a direction out there?
What's that?
Is there any teams other than the West? Like this just seems like a whole.
San Francisco's even up there. San Francisco signing, the
whole
West, and the Cardinals even got a little bit better. I'm not saying they're better than the other three, but they even got a little bit better. So that whole division is starting to shift to be one of the best divisions in football. So all them teams, except for the Cardinals, all them teams are up in the top 10 for Super Bowl bets. So that tells you a lot.
That is crazy. Okay, well, as we get ready to shift on over to the rest of our show here, we're doing all college now because this is March Madness. I'm excited to get a notification from CBS Sports that I picked 18 out of my 22 picks correctly. I should not have banked on Carolina edging out VCU, blowing a 19-point lead. Tar Heels, come back home. Congratulations. Welcome back to the bench. Watch Duke go all the way. 19-point lead. Coach is speechless afterwards. Literally, they get him up there. 19-point lead. The only other team I know that knows how to blow leads like that is an NFL team. And James and I reside in that city, and they know who they are. They are known for blowing leads, and I guess they have set the precedent in the legal terms. They have set the precedent for blowing leads. Got some scores we're going to talk about tonight. Northern Iowa versus St. John's. That game is going on right now. Big blow up. St. John's a whole 20 points ahead. Second half here, 5 minutes left to go. UCF, UCLA. That game is winding down. It's a 9-point game. UCLA in the lead. Queens versus Purdue is not even a game. Purdue 92, Queens 58. Queens will be uncrowned tonight. Last 5 minutes of that game. Prairie View versus the Gators. That game will be coming up here shortly in the next 2 minutes. Don't y'all hop over there. I don't even want to tell y'all where it's going to be because we need you to stay over here with us for 30 minutes and then you can go watch them. Final game in overtime. The Wildcats go wild, almost getting eliminated by Santa Clara. 89-84. Wildcats continue on in final overtime. And Tennessee puts the shellacking on Miami, Ohio. 78-56. Miami, Ohio is at home. Tennessee goes forward. What did you say, B?
I saw that coming. I mean, they did a good job getting to where they got to. And kind of me and Keith agreed on that whole situation where they might get in, but they're probably going to get blown out in the first round. So it is what it is. Congratulations for them for getting into the tournament, though.
And right now we got a close game, MSU versus CSU, 6-point differential in the fourth, 4 minutes left. And MSU is winning right now. Michigan State is who I'm speaking about versus Colorado State. That game is ongoing. Let's see. Let's get some scores from the last couple of days. Highlights. Super excited. And then, it's all times for basketball now. But I'm super excited to know that my Duke boys won. No joke there. Let me see. Let me get everybody in here. I tell you, this sometimes, here we go. All right, so the games that were ended already is Akron fell to Texas Tech 91-71. Long Island got beat down. There's 40-point deficit to Arizona. Wright State and so many schools I've never heard of. They just found their way into the playoffs.
Wright
I mean,
State's
there's like
been
10 teams. There's 10 teams from North Carolina that are in there. And a lot of those schools, people are like, what? So Wright State got beat down. Tennessee State got taken down by Iowa State. Alabama, big news from them. One of their star, Mr. Williams, who got arrested this week, charged, removed from the team, what have you, over a pound of marijuana in his dorm. Alabama still gets a chance to get this one done over Hofstra, 90-70. Villanova falls, and I did not see that one coming to Utah State, 86-76. Clemson already at home, 67-61 to Iowa. CA Baptist is coming on versus Kansas. The Jayhawks, UConn, and Furman, that should be a given, but you just never know. These games are coming up. Yesterday's games were Michigan, that's B's team, if I'm not mistaken, over Howard, just not even a game, 101-80. Texas beat BYU. They are bringing them young, bringing them back on home. 79-71. St. Mary's got beat down by Texas A&M. Penn loses to Illinois, another Illinois team, 105-70. Georgia is back home. The dogs bark has left. They are back in their cages right now, 102-77. I didn't see that one coming. And Houston, Kevin Sampson's team, you guys know him, the UNC Pembroke alumni from my college, my undergrad, marches on 78-47 over Idaho. And then let's see, they don't even want, let me tell you, they don't even want to talk about the Duke score. Duke 71-65. It was close. They literally, I was concerned, almost lost this doggone game to a number 16 seed, and Duke is number 1. 71-65. High Point, 1 point. High Point, North Carolina. Congratulations, guys. 83-82 over number 5 Wisconsin. High Point stays in it. McNeese falls to Vandy, 78-68. And Troy just beat down real bad by Nebraska, 76-47. TCU took care of the not Ohio State. They're home already, just like they always are. 66-64. Yes. And Louisville getting it done over South Florida, 83-79. Arkansas taking Hawaii back across the shore, 97-78. And VCU, congratulations, Virginia Commonwealth University. I used to live in Richmond, Virginia. They got it done. They're the ones that beat down those Tar Heels, 82-78 overtime. Tar Heels blow a 19-point lead to Virginia. So I know I gave a lot of scores and stuff like that. I know we're probably at the mark. Before we start with the comments, B, this is probably a good time to take us to commercial. James, myself, and B will be right back.
All right.
Hey everyone, it's Pearson. I'm so blessed to have been crowned 2026 Miss Jabberwock, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has supported me with fundraisers or just donations in general and everything, including my parents and also Sasha for using her platform and also helping me as well. Just thank you so much. All glory to God. Thank you.
And we are back with the second half. Thank you so much, B, extraordinary producer, giving us our credits. And again, congratulations to Pearson, my niece. You are the real MVP, and thank you for your support, James and B. As y'all heard me talk about this for the last 12 weeks I'm glad it's over. And congratulations to her. All right, guys. I ran through a lot of scores. I know y'all are both doing the brackets. Was there anybody, and y'all can chime in as needed. I'm gonna pull up a picture of my bracket while I'm at it. Were there any of those teams, because that's why they call it brackets, because your bracket can get busted early on. And if you pick the wrong team, like one year I picked Duke and they got eliminated first round and my whole bracket was done. Like I was done. Because I had them picked to win it all. I never bet against Duke. What were your thoughts on these games, guys?
I mean, the one particular one that stands out is North Carolina. Man, how far have they fallen from grace? I just really, yeah, that VCU. I don't know. They need to revamp. I don't know what's recruiting like there. It's far from the days. I think the last time they were really good. I mean, like really, really good was when they had Vince Carter and
Dean Smith was the coach.
Yeah, man.
Hubert's not doing it.
It's
They got so excited when he first got there, talking about he's the first coach to take them to the playoffs in his first year, and like, dude, sit down.
Yeah,
it's not even a rivalry anymore. I mean, Duke they own that state for sure, and it used to be a really good rivalry. Yeah, it used to be a really good rivalry there, and it's just disappointing. I'll be honest with you. I'm disappointed with them, but man, other than that, it looks like everybody's handling business. I mean, there obviously there was some upsets, but that's the most notable for me.
Yeah, what about you, B?
So I only got 3 games wrong. I'm still at the top of I'm still at the top of our bracket group here. I'm at 99.5%.
Yeah, I'm not in that.
But the 2 games that I didn't see coming was the Villanova game. I really thought Vanilla Villanova.
Yeah, we both said vanilla wafers.
Vanilla could not beat Utah State. That's what I'm going to say, because I cannot say Villanova for some reason. But yeah, I thought
because they were vanilla. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played vanilla. Texas beat. Now this is a game that I was gonna pick Texas, and you know what happens when you get I'm gonna pick a team and it doesn't work out. Yeah, well, I should have, could have, but didn't. And the other team was Kentucky and Santa Clara. Santa Clara should have won that game. They were BSing at the end of that game. They were doing some really dumb stuff at the end of that game for Kentucky, because Kentucky was on their heels that whole game. I knew Santa Clara was going to win, but I did call the VC. I mean, I was one of the ones that called the VCU upset over North Carolina. I knew they're going to win that game. VCU's just got a lot of offense. Now, if it carries, it's not going to carry them past Illinois, though. I think Illinois is just a better balanced team. Who was the other one? High Point. I picked High Point to beat Wisconsin. So I mean, there's a few that I got lucky on. Because that's basically what it is at this point. Because it's March Madness, NIL. Everybody's just about the same. I mean, the Siena Duke game. Now, I'm sorry, son. I don't have no love for Duke anyway. But
okay.
Siena did play awfully good. Now, the problem the mistake that they had was playing all their starting 5 the whole game. They should have substituted out, like when they had like a 13-point lead on Duke, they should have substituted some guys out to get them some rest, because I know Duke is a high-powered offense. They're a very good team. Ain't gonna lie, there's no line about that. So you got to take advantage of your situation as you can. He just continued, and you could tell Siena, those players were tired at the end of the game. I mean, they were dog tired. They could not do anything right. The missed dribbling, not making crisp passes like they were in the beginning of 3/4 of the game. They just were tired, and that's a coaching problem. Coach got to recognize that. When you have a 13-point lead on one of the best teams in the country, the best team in the country, actually, you got to take advantage of that situation and sit some players down for a minute so they can rest. And if Duke comes back, then you can bring them back in there and reassert them in the lineup. But what he did was not. It was as soon as they showed the stat that they were playing the whole game. I said, well, they ain't gonna win this game because Duke is just gonna outlast them. They're playing the bench players too. Bench players are good, but I don't know if it's for Duke. On the flip side of that, people say, well, that might have woke them up because they got the toughest bracket. And there's not going to be no team like Siena on there. There's going to be teams that are going to have bench players. So they better shape up quick, because if they don't, they're going to be finding themselves out, because St. John's ain't no joke. Kansas ain't no joke. They got a whole bunch of teams in that bracket that ain't no joke. So, and you can see one of the teams right now in St. John's are just destroying the team they're playing. So
we literally have to every year. When I first became a Duke fan back in the late 80s, those were the same teams we were facing then too. Villanova, Kansas, Gonzaga. That year ago, I was like, who? Gonzaga? Who? Gonzaga? I never had heard of this team, and they beat my boys, and I never forgot them. So it's always the same, kind of like how we are with college football. We see Georgia, LSU, we see all the big SEC folks, and you just see them for so long, you forget that we got hundreds of other teams out there that anybody is fair game for them to make the playoffs. I mean, James, what do you think? I mean, it's still early, but folks is getting dropped like flies off the rip. And it's like, this is the win. You have to win to stay in from this point. There is no series. This is it.
I don't know. I think I'm with Keith in regards to how the brackets have been set up and how teams that are not even in certain, certain hemispheres of the United States, they end up being displaced and put in tougher, more difficult situations than they would have, with some familiarity in their particular, like the South. Florida's in the South, and Houston's in the South, and that's going to be But last year, Florida and Houston played in the final game. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. But now somebody's got to come out of the South between those two, and I think those two are going to end up meeting up. I'll be honest with you. I think
Duke and who else?
No. I mean the South bracket.
Oh yeah.
Before they get to the Final Four. So and then of course Michigan and excuse me, not Gonzaga, but Michigan and
Arizona, and in the West.
Arizona's in the West, yes.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick four, let's just say if I had to pick four, that would be in the Final Four. I'm gonna have to go with B on this one, Sonia. I don't know if Duke's gonna make it this far. That if they again losing that player that you had, and that might have been a tough one, yeah, or two players, excuse me.
Yeah, the center.
And then Michigan State, UConn, and like you said, St. John's. This is a very tough bracket. And then just by the time you get to the Final Four, you might be looking at Arizona, you may be looking at Gonzaga, or Purdue. It's gonna be a tough series here. I mean, Duke has an opportunity. I mean, they were number one the whole season. So I'm not counting them out. But it's just, again, those injuries were unfortunate for them.
Yeah, and then you got their big man Patrick Ngoba the second. They're trying to hope he can play against TCU in the tournament here. He's got some soreness in his right foot, so hopefully they can get that together. But he's missed 5 straight games, y'all, for the tournament's number one. Like he's not been playing for a minute, and they've been still getting it done, especially with that rivalry game against the regular season against Carolina. 3 games in the Atlantic Coast Conference as well, tournament, and Thursday's first round March Madness win over Siena. And we literally almost were the only third number 1 seed that would have lost to a 16 seed. Like we were so close, we would have broke that record. I'm so glad we got through that. But this dude is 6'11", 250-pound sophomore. He's been practicing before making a decision. It's a game time decision. Looks like he's still wearing a protective boot today, y'all, and using a knee scooter. That doesn't look good. I was on a knee scooter. I didn't know the foot soreness was to that degree that you're using a knee scooter. It's like they're trying to give him total rest. And then tomorrow is the day. Like tomorrow is Saturday. So when they're asking, if he's actually going to be able to play, they're just saying basically he just needs to be on the floor and move the way he needs to be successful. And basically, um, he's trying to hype himself up, but we just don't know. And this is just one of those things that Duke, like you're saying, is just starting to get plagued with injuries.
Well, so I got one thing to say about that. This is where your lottery player or presumed lottery player has to step up. I mean,
Yep.
in Cameron Boozer,
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta take over. He's got to
Yep.
take over. This is where
One of the
you're the
Booster
player
brothers.
that has got everything. Your name's out there. You got a legacy name out there. You have to step up. You have to show that okay, I can take a team regardless of the injuries. I can place a team on my back. And can he be that player? Time will tell. We got a
Well,
whole
I'll tell
tournament.
you something though. The one thing I did see in this Duke Siena game is that both the Boozer brothers that played out there, his brother, what's his name? Sonia, his
I
Cameron's
don't know. I
brother,
just know Boozer brothers.
Sonia. But but he was fire out there. He was the one that held them
Hayden
together in that
Boozer.
whole. Yes, that dude is awesome. He played a very good role in that, and if he can keep that up, Duke will have a lot better chance to get through to all these brackets because that's what they need. They need somebody to step up in the wake of their center being out and Caleb being out. Somebody's got to step up and place them. And he did a very good job in stepping up in that game. I think he was the leading point getter in
He was.
the
And
Duke game.
they normally relied heavily on his brother Cameron. So that's a big thing for Caden to be stepping up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they're playing TCU next. I don't imagine they're going to have too much trouble with TCU, although TCU is a very good offensive team. But they barely scratched by Ohio State, and I thought they were gonna. I knew they're gonna beat Ohio State, but I thought they're gonna trash Ohio State. To tell you the truth, because they're just a very good offense. But if Duke can, I'm pretty sure Duke can get past them. So it's just anybody after TCU they really got to worry about. I think that the brothers, if they're playing like they're playing, against Siena, and somebody else steps up a little bit, they should be fine, for the next round.
Yeah, and the guard that was also injured was Caleb Foster. They're saying him and Patrick are both in boots and knee scooters. I'm like,
Caleb is out for the rest of the tournament, so
yeah,
he's not even gonna be playing.
So it's gonna be banking on, if Pat can come into play. But I really believe what you're saying, though, B. It's gonna be left up to the Boozer brothers. So get all your liquors and beers ready because it's Boozer time tomorrow. And so, yeah,
that is
but
one of my favorite college names, though. Boozers.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that going up? Hey, brother, what's going on? Yes, that's my brother.
What's up, Marcus?
Hey, I forgot he does support. Him, myself, and one other sibling, Kelly, are the only ones that our siblingship is split. 3 of the siblings love Carolina, and trust me, I can't even get a response from them when I started texting them screenshots. They blew that 19-point lead. But by the way, Anissa Jones, Pearson's mom, right as we were showing the commercial, she was sending me messages on Facebook, which means you see my text, ma'am, about Carolina. You just want to forget about it and go over to Facebook. But it's all good in the hood. Of course, right now we got the last 50-some seconds with the UCLA game. It's 7 points, and it looks like UCLA is going to pull this one off with less than a minute to go. Prairie View is tossing off here. You can't really say kicking off. Tossing off here right now against Florida. And, the women's basketball have been doing their things too. And I don't really talk too much about them, but North Carolina State, yay, go Wolfpack. That's my other team. They are wrapping up their game right now against Tennessee, number 7, number 10 seed. It is a 9-point game, and they have 9 minutes, so anything can happen. Villanova and Texas Tech are tied at the half, and Colorado State and Michigan State. Michigan State has that lead there, with the women's game. Villanova, like I told you guys, are tied. Ohio State is playing tomorrow. They're still in it for their ladies, and so is UGA. Their ladies are still in it tomorrow as well against Virginia. Now, some teams that have already been tossed out. Well, let me go all the way back. Congratulations to the LSU Lady Tigers, 116 over Jacksonville 58. I mean, that was not even a game. Minnesota 75 over Green Bay. Go figure. Sounds almost
That
like
was
NFL.
that was a football game.
Yes, you would have thought that, right? University of North Carolina, their ladies are still in it, getting it done over Western Illinois,
Yep.
82 to 51. That was a final day. Holy Cross got beat down by Michigan State, 83 to 48. Number 2,
Holy
Michigan State.
snikes.
Holy Cross, they hanging it up. Number 1 seed for the ladies is Texas, y'all. Not even our usual suspects on this one. They got it done 87 to 45 over Missouri State. And Gonzaga, I knew they were there somewhere. We don't see them in the guys, but their ladies got eliminated earlier today, 81 to 66 by Ole Miss. And Maryland, their ladies put up a 99-point beat down on Murray State, who had 67. Washington 72, South Dakota State 54. Nebraska, their ladies were eliminated by Baylor. Shout out to Rika Patterson. She is someone I grew up with, and last I heard, she was the head coach at Baylor. I need to check and see if she still is or not. But anyway, Oregon, the Ducks quacked right on over Virginia Tech, 70 to 60. And TCU on the women's side, they got it done 86 to 40 over UC San Diego. And the Duke girls getting it done as well. So the ladies and gents from Duke, we represent double time, 81-64 over number 14 seed Charleston. By the way, Duke ladies are number 3 in rankings. Virginia eked out against Arizona State, 2-point win, 57-55. And Samford lost to Southern. Wow, freaking Southern. And Louisiana, you got to be kidding me. 65 to 53. Southern is number 16. And so is Samford. And then Richmond lost to Nebraska. And Missouri State beat SFA. Charleston beat Hofstra. And then we got Holy Cross women. They're still in it for the Patriot League tournament, whatever that is. So lots of basketball going on. I do want to pivot it back to the men because, as you guys see, I don't have a lot. Let me ask y'all real quick. Where is Villanova ladies at? Are they not in the tournament? I didn't see them.
They should be. I thought they were.
I didn't see a score for them.
The Lady Vanillas were not in.
Yeah, the Lady Vanillas.
I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it wrong.
They're playing right now. They're playing Texas Tech. They're winning 33-28.
I don't mean to say them. I'm looking for Pennsylvania, the Huskies, Penn State. Gosh, I'm having a brain freeze.
Not Penn.
Litany Lions.
UConn.
Litany. They're the Lions.
The Husky. Yeah, UConn.
The UConn. Yeah.
Yeah.
UConn,
where are they? Where are those folks?
They're playing. Looks like they're playing tomorrow, 21st. Yeah, they're playing tomorrow. They're playing
the guys and the girls.
The UConn girls are playing tomorrow. They're the favorite to win the tournament.
That's what
believe
I
me.
I want to send a shout out to the Lady Tigers. Congrats. And the Lady Jaguars. Congrats. In Louisiana.
LSU just destroyed Jackson.
They are representing. Representing.
They doubled up Jacksonville. They beat
the human jukebox, Southern University.
Representing.
Actually got a little acceptance letter out there for law school, so I know all about Baton Rouge. So congratulations to them. I knew if I moved out there, I would just gain a lot of weight because they have some really good food, and I just was like, I just don't see anything for me out there but gaining a lot of weight. So
you be studying, snoring, and eating. There you go.
I was like, I need to.
And you know what else you do after eat? I just can't say it on there.
What? What you say?
I said, you know what else? You know what else you do after eating? I just can't say it on air.
Yeah. there's that.
Eat, sleep, and
so of
feeling
course,
about 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah, facts. So of course, guys, we got these games still here wrapping up. Anybody you guys interested in seeing in this particular round? What game should we be on the lookout for?
For the ladies or for what are you talking about?
Yeah, for the
guys.
You guys particularly interested in for this weekend?
Oh, well, that would be interesting to say. Michigan and
The
Louisville.
Miami,
Michigan,
Missouri
Michigan
game.
State and Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miami, Missouri. Yep.
Those are gonna
Vanderbilt
be
and Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good game. Virginia and Tennessee. And Tennessee, I don't know about though. I think Virginia is going to beat the crap out of them. I just have this feeling.
Virginia's looking too, so you know.
What about Michigan and St. Louis? St. Louis. You think that's going to be a tough one for Michigan?
Louisville, not St. Louis.
Those two are the best defensive teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's first and St. Louis is second. So we'll see about that. They handled
St.
Georgia
Louis
pretty
beat the crap
well.
out of Georgia.
They beat the crap out of Georgia, and they beat them even worse than Michigan beat Howard. So we'll see. Michigan, they have to get in the even with the Howard game, they were playing a little bit. You know, like they knew they can win the game. It was just
they weren't playing to they were playing to another team's strength, right?
The strength. So they got through that game. They can't do that against Louisville though. They can't, or St. Louis though. They can't do that against St. Louis. St. Louis is a tough team. So they got length just as much as Michigan does. I think they're just as fast though. I think Michigan is fast, but that'll be a good game.
Houston and Texas A&M.
Texas and Gonzaga will be interesting.
Yeah, High Point versus Arkansas is going to be a good game, Marcus.
I don't know about that. I think High Point reached their high point over Wisconsin.
They probably did. Some of the comments coming in.
You brush your teeth after you're eating. Okay.
B got so enthralled with these stats he forgot.
No, I was looking at the tournament bracket because you asked the question. So
no, he did. No, he did.
I did.
While he's looking at
that, look. I don't know about Marcus. I don't know about Marcus in the High Point though. Marcus,
High Point is that
Arkansas
sneaky team. Listen, once I find out how much
they were sneaky against Wisconsin, but they ain't gonna be sneaky against Arkansas. Arkansas is no joke.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Marcus, are you saying that game will be good? Who do you think will win that game? And of course, that game, he mentioned the same thing James did about Michigan versus St. Louis. But I think Michigan is going to go ahead on with this one. It's kind of like you have to look at it like this, guys. If teams come in here ranked at the top of their conferences, it's not always because they were that good. It could have been that their conferences, the teams that they played, were not that good. And so they may be facing their first real challenges now that we're in March Madness. Mm-hmm. And because the strength of their schedule has intensified against their favor, basically. So that's another thing. You can't always look at, okay, this team is number 1 or number 3, and this number 16 team can't come in there and knock them off, because that number 16 team may have scuffled through their entire conference and some kind of way just made it in, but they've played some really tough opponents along the way.
Yeah, Michigan's out of the Big Ten. There's 9 Big Ten teams in the less than that now, thanks to Ohio State losing.
I'm so glad. Fern ain't gonna never come back on here. He ain't gonna never come back.
Vanderbilt is another interesting team too. They seem to be like the Cinderella team of the tournament. So if they beat Nebraska, it's going to be really interesting to see how far they go as well.
Yeah,
because they have a potential to play Florida, who they beat the crap out of in a conference final. So in a championship game. So and they're 1-1 apiece. So this will be their third go at it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. With what Marcus said. Let's run over to the NBA. B, unless you had something else you want to say on that, or James, you guys. All right, some scores from last night going into today. The Hornets, my Hornets are just stinging everybody, y'all. They stinging everybody. 130 to 111. They took the sizzle out of the Magic. That's the second Florida team they've beaten in a row. They took care of the Heat. It threw some water on them the other day. Now they've taken the wands away from the Magic. There's no Magic left in Orlando. The Pistons, arguably the number 1 team in the East right now, 117 over the Wizards. I mean, another magician that's out of a wand. Magic and Wizards need to team up. Okay, 117-95. Lakers put just a little bit of raindrops on top of the Heat for them to get another loss. 134-126. Cavs 115 over the Bulls. 110. Clippers got themselves clipped by the Pelicans. Zion Williamson, listen, he must have just needed some Duke love because once he got Cooper Flag out there, was it Cooper that's on that team? Is it Cooper
For
from
the
Duke?
Mavericks. Oh yeah, he played for Duke. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not. Cooper is with the Mavs. It's that other guy that they all went to school. I'm having a brain freeze.
Knipper,
No,
whatever his name is.
Canuckles with the Hornets.
Okay.
So, but anyway, this guy Zion had a standout day. I talked about it on my Wednesday show because all he needed was another player from his alma mater. So anyway, Pelicans got it done over the Clippers 105-99. The Suns lost a heartbreaker to the Spurs by 1 point, 101-100. Bucks got bucked themselves by the Jazz. They turned the music up on a 128-96. And the Kings were uncrowned. I mean, the 76ers, 139-118. That was not even a joke. And tonight's games that are ongoing with about 1 minute left in the fourth quarter, Knicks may win this one against the Nets. It's a New York matchup. Brooklyn versus New York, 90-87. Warriors look like they may lose this one with 26 seconds to the Pistons, 115-101. What is going on? Steph Curry. Steph, his dad, and his brother were at a Hornets game where they were honoring them. I don't know. Maybe they need Steph to show up at these Warrior games.
Can I break in here real quick? There's one important thing that you did not mention about this whole situation.
I ain't gotten there yet.
About Cade Cunningham.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks because he has a collapsed lung. And that's going to be detrimental. But I'm going to tell you something.
So painful.
Pistons have already played 2 games without him. And they pretty much beat the crap out of both the teams they played. So I'm not saying Cade ain't a good part of the team. When he's there, he does add all kinds of stuff to that team. But people who are saying, oh, well, the Pistons are done because Cade's not playing, yeah, go kick rock somewhere. Because you got Duran. They got a whole bunch of players on that team that can score. And
you just have depth. That's good.
Yeah,
when a team can.
Yeah.
And they haven't met the Hornets yet. So
they beat them already, so.
Yeah, one little time. You won't. It won't happen again. Celtics 84, Grizzlies 88 at the end of the third. Trailblazers and Timberwolves are matching up right now. 9 minutes left in that game. 3-point deficit to the Trailblazers. The Raptors and the Nuggets, a 5-point game there. Second quarter, 3:59 left. And the final has just occurred with these wussy Pistons beating the Warriors since I started going through the scores. 115.
Just remember, they're the number 1 seed team in the Eastern Conference Finals. Where's Charlotte at? They're just in the bottom, like trying to get into the playoffs.
Like I said, you don't want to see us. You
well,
don't
anyway,
you
Atlanta's doing better than Charlotte is. You should be hyped up on Atlanta. Is Atlanta won 11 games yet?
The Panthers played, and what happened? Don't amp me up now, B, because I'm telling you, I come with it. You don't want to see us. We are coming. You're coming.
You're going down. That's where you're at.
We're here.
The bottom is where the catfish at. You know what the catfish eat?
We can call you Mary J. Blige because you're going down.
Just wait.
Yeah. Be Mary J. Blige. He's going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mary J. Blige gonna be here to save you.
Yeah, I can't wait. He's got.
Well, to both of you, I want to be like Brandy. I want to be down.
Damn. I want to be down. What you going?
Hey, New Orleans is getting their stuff together, though. Hey, as long as Williamson keeps playing
at the end of the season. Look, shout out to the Lakers. I'm still a LeBron James fan right now, and they won eight straight, and the boys just killing it right now. So we'll see what they do in the playoffs. But I think they got the number 3 seed in the Western Conference Finals, so that's good for them. But they look like they rolling, trying to get themselves ready for the playoffs. Man,
okay.
Luke put a big 60-piece wing piece on them boys. KD and them boys, right? He tore them up, man. I saw that game. Wow.
I hate when I cannot think of something once I am like on air, and so I've got to tell you guys who this guy is from Duke that is with Zion Williamson. It's so weird. Like I'm looking at the roster and I don't see it. I don't know if it's because he was playing against him in that game the other night that they mentioned both of them being from Duke. Yeah, I don't see another Duke alum on this team. So maybe Zion was just trying to show up or whatever. But anyway, speaking of showing up, it's time for us to show up out of here so that James and B can join you in the morning with Jack Hirsch, 8 a.m. for the debate show. I will have Jack personally on my March 28th, 4 p.m. episode where he will be debuting a book he wrote alongside Michael Spinks. Yes, the Michael Spinks. And so you don't want to miss that episode. You don't want to miss the shows here around the clock with B, James, and a whole lot of other people. And we hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Oh, and tonight's show is dedicated to my grandmother. Happy heavenly birthday to her. Her birthday was yesterday. And with that, we bid you guys all good night.